Hi, it's an honor to talk to both of you at the same time. Thank you for your time.
Chris.
Hey,
Hi,
Chris.
Chris.
Robert, what's the one question about Freddy you always get asked that you secretly hope no one ever asks again?
Mr. Englund, how long does it take to put on the makeup? Never want to hear it again. I can't.
All right,
believe
noted. Just going to
I
mark
can't believe
my
people don't
second
know
question out
that
here.
answer. You know. So.
Now, how old can your children be before you show them Nightmare on Elm Street and not be a terrible parent?
Well, you're a parent. What do you
Well,
think?
I mean,
Heather?
I used to say like 14 but now when I see so many young kids seeing it now, it's more like 8. I don't know.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. The ante has been upped in horror, science fiction, and fantasy films. I mean, kids are watching Game of Thrones. There's some serious stuff in Game of Thrones, and Nightmare on Elm Street, which we still remember as being controversial, is pretty mild, comparatively speaking, to some of the new stuff that's out there. So I think I would say,
12.
You'd be safe at 12.
And I say know your own kid because there's some kids who at no age will it be okay to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
You'd be safe at 12, but here's the thing. Younger kids accidentally see it sometimes, and these are the kids that haven't been taught about stranger danger and the evils of the world yet, and they watch it as a kind of dark, it scares them, but they watch it like a dark fairy tale, almost like a Brothers Grimm. They don't watch it as this could be part of society.
Right.
They see it as a kind of cautionary
magical
fable. Yeah.
Now, I know you've mentioned being done physically playing Freddy, but has there ever been any talks about doing an R-rated animated film where the two of you could voice Freddy and Nancy?
Well, that's a great idea. Let's
never
go for
heard of it.
We'll have lunch. No, that's a great idea.
I've wrote the whole thing. I got it ready for you guys.
Well, Freddy's made appearances in some sophisticated games, but I'm thinking that would be a great idea. A nice, dark, animated Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. Now, I've always been curious about this, but Robert, playing one of the most iconic villains of all time, do you ever feel like you have to overcompensate in real life and be an even nicer person?
Well, I'll cop to this. When it first came out, and it really took off. Let's put it this way. Maybe this was after part 2 came out. And by then I knew, wow, we can't control this. I've got to go along for the ride. I sort of offered myself in public then, even though I was kind of scruffy. I kind of would offer myself in public, cleaned up. I wore suits more than I normally wear. I wore my reading glasses a lot, just to differentiate. Because I didn't want to look like I was just some scruffy guy playing a scruffy guy who got burned up. And so I did make a conscious decision to do that. But I had already been doing some suit and tie roles in Hollywood before Freddy. So in Hollywood, they knew who I was. I wasn't worried about Hollywood.
Now, if Freddy Krueger existed in today's world of social media and smartphones, how do you guys think his approach to terrorizing his victims might change?
What do you think, Heather?
Gosh, I mean, I almost think it's impossible to have a scary character with social media because by the time you've already put out the scary side, there's like 100 memes of you being ridiculous and like they've figured out a way to humiliate you. So I don't know if Freddy could even exist today.
Yeah, Freddy texts. I wonder if I could get my tongue in a smartphone.
I love
just
it, guys.
can see those memes like the minute you're trying to scare me. I mean, it's like there's a meme about, something else.
I mean, I love the idea of technology being used as a tool in a horror narrative. I think I like that. I'm kind of a sucker for that. I just think there's probably better ways to do that than with the mythology of Nightmare on Elm Street. You could almost do a retro. I would almost like to see a prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street where we see Freddy, go to jail, go to courtroom drama. He gets off. The lawyers could be really interesting, characters. Could be real sleazy. What's it called? Ambulance chasers. And you get some good character actors to play the lawyers. Freddy gets off. He gloats on the courthouse steps. He's not, he's not Freddy yet. He's not burned yet. He's whoever that person is. We get more insight into he and his wife and child and what kind of a twisted soul he is. And make it a little retro. Set it maybe late 70s or mid 70s, in a kind of suburban world where there's a sleazy disco down at the corner or something. I could see that happening,
I think this has been great. I think we've had a really good meeting here. I think we've pitched everything we need to pitch.
We're going to do the animated show.
And then we'll do the prequel.
Disco Nightmare. I can't wait.
It's going to be great. You guys are going to be so busy. Thank you so much for your time.